Today on Doxapedia, we dive into the storied history of tariff wars, from the Gilded Age to the headline-making 2025 tariffs, unpacking who battled, why, and what it cost us all. Our story begins in 1890 when the U.S. enacted the McKinley Tariff, hiking average import duties to nearly 50% to shield nascent industries. Canada answered in kind, doubling U.S. import taxes, and sparked North America's first great tariff showdown. Trade stalled and prices rose on both sides until relations thawed in the mid-1890s. Fast forward to June 1930, the Smoot Hawley Act kicks in, slapping duties on over 20,000 products, averaging a 20% hike. Despite economist warnings, over 24 nations retaliated. By 1933, U.S. exports plunged more than 60%, global trade collapsed nearly 65%, and the Great Depression deepened. Seeing the damage, President Roosevelt pivoted in 1934 with the Reciprocal Trade Agreements Act, empowering the executive branch to negotiate bilateral tariff cuts. This became the foundation for post-war trade liberalization. Tariff dust-ups persisted. In the 1980s, the U.S. imposed voluntary export restraints on Japanese autos. In 2002, steel and aluminum duties sparked EU counter-tariffs on Harley-Davidson and bourbon. Each flare-up underscored that protectionism never truly sleeps. Then came 2018's headline war. Section 301 tariffs on over $250 billion in Chinese imports. Rates from 7.5 to 25%. China hit back on soybeans and cars. By 2019, bilateral trade fell 16%, and U.S. farmers drew $28 billion in subsidies to offset lost markets. On April 2, 2025, President Trump rolled out a uniform 10% tariff on almost all imports, his new baseline reform. Only crude oil, some semiconductors, and key medicines were spared. Over 75 nations scrambled to negotiate exemptions, but global markets jittered. March 12 saw the return of 25% duties on all steel and aluminum, no exceptions. And on April 4, that same rate was extended to empty aluminum cans and beer imports. Renewable energy projects, automakers, and brewers warned of cost spikes up to 2% on critical inputs. Simultaneously, Commerce launched Section 232 investigations into pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, and processed critical minerals. Potential tariffs of 10 to 25% by mid-2025, threatening to reroute supply chains. Most trading partners received a 90-day pause on reciprocal levies, except China. On April 9, Trump bumped Chinese duties to 125%, stacking to 145% when added to existing tariffs. Beijing countered with 84% duties of its own, marking the steepest U.S.-China standoff since World War II. Trade contraction. Global trade can collapse by 60% or more in peak tariff wars. Higher prices. Consumers and manufacturers alike face steeper costs on goods and inputs. Supply chain shifts. Firms accelerate moves away from high-tariff countries, boosting decoupling. Market uncertainty, rapid policy swings delay investments and chill growth forecasts. Political risks, protectionist measures often prompt swift reversals or electoral backlash. Tariff wars repeat a familiar pattern. Short-term political gain, long-term economic pain. Stay informed, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell to keep exploring tech, nature, history, economics, and today's hottest debates on Doxapedia.